In a world crying out for Thunderdome. The fans have spoken. 2 films enter, 1 film leaves. The top 10 gives you a reckoning by the name of Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
Brought to you by the Schmoes Know Network. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
That's right. This is a good choice. Do you have all the names? Do you have the people like?
I got them all. I got them all lined up. First off, you are?
Hi, I'm John Rocha.
And I'm Matt Knost. This is the top 10 shows.
Right.
Thunderdome.
Yeah, wait, I just said that.
Well, you said Thunderdome.
Oh.
You just opened up and said, this is Thunderdome.
No, wait a minute. If they read the topic of the show,
you're
and
right.
I can't say it, they know what show they're downloading.
I know. Normally I do this to you because you
do.
A lot of times when we do the regular show, you do a big reveal of the name and be like, they read the description. It's already in their download. I appreciate you, the theatrics of it.
Of course.
You're a good
That's
showman.
what I am.
You're a good showman.
I'm the greatest showman. Hello.
I still haven't seen that yet.
Well, I'll be surprised if you go.
I will be too because
Yeah.
I still haven't seen 2 that I need to, and I will have seen basically everything else. I think.
I don't know
by
if
the
musicals
end
are musicals your thing.
if the musical's good, yeah.
Okay. Could you do a top 10 musicals list right now?
No, maybe, but probably not.
Okay.
There's only I can think of off the top of my head 4 that I really genuinely like.
Okay.
Like to the when a musical hits you, you almost love it.
Yes.
Kind of thing of
Yes.
it speaks to you.
Right.
I either haven't seen enough or B, enough haven't resonated with me.
Gotcha.
But it's a well that I don't go to all that often.
Okay. Fair.
But there are a few that I genuinely do like quite a bit. But the 3 people this week. So Keaton Reese was supposed to be picking the topic for the last week.
Yes, last Thunderdome.
And he fell off the grid.
Yeah.
He just said, you know what? I'm not answering Twitter or DMs on Twitter, or he's not on Facebook.
What was that all about?
He doesn't answer his email. And finally, he hits me back up 3 days later, something like that, and was like, what about this and this and this? I was like, I already had to give it away, man.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I tried to get a hold of you every way that I could.
That's what happens when you go dark, man.
Yeah.
You take the chance.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You had to do whatever you had to do.
You had to go out in
John
the
Wick
woods
somewhere.
You had to go in the woods. Yeah. Get in touch with nature. There's a price you pay.
You do you.
Yeah.
And he came back from the wild and said, I just told him, I was like, look, you're up for next week. You got 4 days to think about it.
Yeah.
You're not on the spot. Let me know on this day. And then he was like, this is what I'm choosing. I'm choosing old Robin Williams. And I appreciate the 2 people that chose, which was Brian Safferny and Joey Anthony, that they went a little bit off the beaten path.
Yeah.
They didn't just go for the biggest thing, his hugest movies.
Dead Poet Society. Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire. Right.
Any of Jumanji, you could say is that, but then Birdcage.
Yeah.
Which is a great choice.
Good. 2 great choices.
What was your choice amongst the 2?
Birdcage.
Birdcage.
Yeah, I love Birdcage to pieces, man.
Yeah.
And I think there was people were surprised. A lot of our fans were surprised that Birdcage was so far behind Jumanji.
I knew it had no shot.
Really?
From the outset. Because Jumanji came out, that is a childhood movie that kids, I like the movie.
Yeah.
But I wish I had seen it when I was 9.
Yeah.
Because that movie would have just inspired so much awe in me.
Right.
I saw it when I was 17 or whatever year it came out. What year did that come out? 90 what?
That sounds about right.
95?
Yeah, 95, 96, 97.
96?
Something like that. Yeah.
Should probably know that.
Back when Bonnie Hunt could be a female lead in movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Around that time.
And David Alan Grier.
Yep.
Just great.
Yeah.
He kills me every time. Every time his face contorts. It's just, I've loved him since In Living Color.
Yes,
man.
In Living Color is so funny in that show.
But yeah, so we put the 2 of them up, Birdcage. I was trying to change it, so on Facebook I wrote Birdcage, and I went back to try and edit it to The Birdcage.
Right.
But the edit function doesn't let you edit the poll.
Oh.
So it looks like I voted for Birdcage.
Right.
And I put it there.
Is that what you're telling people?
Well, that's what I put up.
Come
people
on,
were like, oh, okay, whatever. I would vote for Birdcage, but We've made a conscious choice to not vote.
That's
not vote. So I want to keep that intact.
We
that
don't want
was
to influence anybody's vote.
I wanted to make an edit, and I could not before I realized I had forgot to put the article was missing.
Right.
But yeah, mine would be Birdcage. But I've seen this movie a few times, and I watched it for this.
Mm-hmm.
It still has the same fun that I remember from the first time that I saw it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting idea, and I love that it ends where it doesn't end.
Yes.
The fact that this menace is still out there and kids are going to stumble on it, again.
Those two poor French girls are going to discover that Jumanji on the beach, which of course didn't happen because I don't know if you've seen the sequel, which is in essence a sequel.
I have not.
I did, obviously I was down in Hawaii interviewing them.
Do they bridge the two?
There are two allusions in the movie to the original, to the Robin Williams one.
Okay,
but they're not so overt that you need to have seen the movie. There's not enough references that you would need to have seen the movie. Yes.
To the individuals that have seen the others before.
Yeah, like someone turns over a branch and says, Alan Parrish was here. Oh. That's it.
Okay.
And puts a date of when he was there. But the only thing about this, the sequel is actually really I like the sequel a lot more than I like this. And I think because it takes a more adult teenager, older teenager approach to the film, to the idea of the Jumanji and everything that's happening. And it goes inside the game as opposed to the game coming outside into the real world.
Yeah.
So that was a nice twist to do that with that version of it. But this is the first time I've ever seen the movie.
I know. You said that beforehand.
Yes.
You're like, I've got to watch it because I've never seen it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, no, I've seen this.
I saw it today. I was chilling out this morning. Like I had a couple hours before I had to head into work. I just popped it on and watched it. And I agree with you. I think I should have seen it when I think I would have loved this if I saw it as a kid.
Yeah.
But there are still enough actually sweet moments and funny moments.
Really funny.
That were enjoyable to
Squeaky
watch.
clean. I love a good joke that's squeaky clean.
Yeah. Tough to do.
It is. It's really tough to do to get a genuinely good reaction.
Yep.
Out of you, like to get a strong punch, but like the David Allen Greer when the branch reaches out and takes his car, just the frustration.
Yeah,
like he has put the rest of the mess. He's driving with a car with a door, and his front bumper has been torn off, and the thing has been destroyed. He's seen monkeys take over his car and fire a shot like that, but that was the straw.
Yeah,
that was the I need that car. Fine. And he just kind of grabs her arm eventually after the shock of it is set in. What is that? Bebe Neuwirth?
Bebe Neuwirth. Yep.
Yeah, from Cheers.
Yes. And Chicago, the original Chicago
that's
on
true.
stage.
Yeah, but she was Lilith.
That's true. Fair.
That's where I knew her. That's where she lives
Very
in my
funny.
mind as Lilith.
Yeah. Attractive. I think she's a attractive actress. I like her. I like watching her. She's a good actress. Like I said, Lilith, and I thought she was attractive as well.
Yeah, 100%. What's interesting about it, this is one of the times where Robin doesn't really do he does some of the comedy, but not all the comedy.
No,
he's more there for the heartfelt, the tender moments.
Yeah, which are surprisingly tough to come by for him because when he comes out of this wild, he's a little more angry. He's not as moral. Like he doesn't have the code principles. Like his idea of survival in the jungle is a really big deal for him when he comes back as an adult. So he's not this like tender, vulnerable, softer Robin Williams that we're used to seeing. Right. To survive, he had to do other things. So I thought he was going to come back and be this really kind, gentle person, and he actually wasn't. He comes back a little more ruthless, a little more about, got to finish playing the game so this can be over.
And get me out of hell.
Yeah, get me out of hell. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
and he almost blames her for rolling the 8 for sucking him into the game. He almost blames Bonnie Hunt for it.
It's hard for him not to. You know, he's been having a one-sided argument in his head for
26 years.
26 years.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. How old would you say the kid is when he went in?
Maybe 10.
So Rob Williams is 36 in this movie?
Yeah.
That's what killed me. Doing the math on that, I'm like, all right, if he was 10, 12, you're telling me a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But at the same time...
Well, look, if you watch the Mrs. Doubtfire, I'm supposed to believe that old man... He's in his mid-40s, has those young
3
children.
Young kids?
Yeah, 3 young kids like that.
That's still believable.
And Sally Field ain't no spring chicken in that movie either.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
Yeah.
But that's more believable in that if you lived on the West Coast long enough, there are people that have their first kid at 40.
That's true. It's fair. I'm 47. I don't have a kid yet, so yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still angling.
I know plenty of dads, first-time dads in their late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
It happens quite a bit out here. A bunch of geriatric guys watching a high school graduation. That's got to be so strange.
But I also enjoyed the kid. I mean, Kirsten Dunst is in this, right? Right. I don't think if this was right after Interview with the Vampire. It's right around that same time. I think. She really announced herself in Interview with the Vampire, so maybe it's the next thing.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah,
because in my head I can make a case for both. Like, she was so great in Vampire, now she's getting every role. Or was this she's booking every role, so let's give her a something meatier?
Yeah.
I would have to assume she's booking everything else. We got to give her something meatier.
Probably. And then the kid, not the young kid, but the young Alan Parrish, is the kid from Little Man Tate and a couple other films as well. So he'd been kind of establishing himself as well in the 90s. So this is all this kind of mix. And then Bonnie Hunt, like we said before, Bonnie Hunt, who was an interesting study in, because she was a stand-up and comedian writer.
I think she was an improv actor.
Oh, improv actress? All right.
I
thought she had stand-up specials. She didn't do stand-up?
Maybe. I don't know.
I thought she had stand-up specials.
Or are you thinking of Caroline Ray?
No, I know Caroline Ray. But she was...
I can't believe if that's the case. That's pathetic that I don't know that.
Well... and she was a comedy writer, and then she'd do these parts, like she'd be in these movies like Return to Me and Jerry Maguire, these films from the early 2000s, 90s films that she would show up. And so here she is
in Green Mile.
Green Mile, right? Exactly. So here she is as a love interest for Robin Williams in this movie, And they pick a girl who looks, an actress who looks kind of like her, has the same kind of nose as Bonnie Hunt. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I put in.
All right, so maybe she wasn't. I felt like she was, but maybe she wasn't.
on Wikipedia, she's an American comedian.
There you go.
But comedian can mean
true
comedic actor,
right.
like improv actor. It doesn't specifically say one way or the other. And then when I just put in stand-up into Google, it came back with clips of people doing stand-up on her show, but no mention in the first entire page of Google about her doing stand-up.
Right. She had a show for a while.
Yeah, I remember that show.
Yeah.
It was in the craze of like when Rosie was doing the koosh balls.
Yes.
And then it was her, and I want to say that there was another one, but she was like on WGN.
Yeah. Drew Carey had a show.
Yeah.
Right? The Drew Carey show was there at that time. Yeah, there was a number of shows and like where comedian or comedians had shows. That they
were just some of them were doing such huge numbers that it was just like, well, it's cheap and it can make a lot of money.
Right.
It's like, well, there's a lot of game shows.
Yeah.
Game shows are cheap to make. So if they can get eyes on it, great. This is a good moneymaker for the producers and the network itself.
And obviously Seinfeld being the number one of those. So yeah, but no, it was fun to watch it for the first time and see the story. It was a bit clunky at times. It is a dated film. I felt a little bit, but the idea of the dad, this issue with his father, and then the dad also being that character, the hunter that comes out of the game, which is great. And that actor was in Titanic. He played the maker of the ships who sneaks off dressed as a woman to get on the boats so he can escape. And so I like that actor, seeing him in the movie. And
his wife is like, she's also in the Green Mile.
Yes.
I always blank on her name though. She was
Patricia
in last season of House of Cards. What's
Patricia
that?
Clarkson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She's always great.
Yeah.
No matter how large or small the part, she's always great.
She's in Untouchables. She's Kevin Costner's wife in the Untouchables.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But yeah, I love that every roll of the dice, like it brought on a new menace from Jumanji, and they were all like unique and individual little terrors in and of themselves.
Yep.
The only ones that's ridiculous are the spiders, because they just look like really bad robots that are just like skidding across the wood.
Yeah.
Everything else looks kind of like, the plants look Little Shop of Horrors-y.
They do, really do.
But at the same time, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing that, so okay.
Yeah.
And the crocodile it looks like a crocodile, but it's not quite a crocodile.
Well, Bonnie Hunt has essentially a Quint from Jaws moment where she's kicking the mouth so she doesn't get eaten by the crocodile.
Yeah.
Very on a incline. Yeah, so very reminiscent of Quint in Jaws. And it's more and more like the stakes get higher and higher, right?
Yeah, with each passing one.
Exactly. And it's very inventive, the things they have to say, right? And then something happens. They have to say the thing.
They have to read the little, and then immediately, towards the end, though, once they understand the rhythm of the game, why wouldn't you just, person rolls, reads it, and apparently that's part of the game. You have to read the thing. Next person immediately grabs the dice, rolls.
Yeah. Why
wouldn't you just do that until someone finally wins the game and, like, I guess you don't know that it's just going to, you have to assume bad things are going to keep coming, so you might as well get them in one wave instead of wave after wave after wave.
Yeah, but it's tough to, like, once they start coming, though, they could fall on top of each other, and it's tough to play the game when you're being, like, constantly running around trying to escape from these things that are coming after you, though.
Yeah, but there were a couple points at which it's like, everybody's sitting around waiting for the thing to happen.
Right.
Move.
Yeah.
Go, now. Like, roll.
Yeah.
Keep going, because especially, like, towards the end, it's just like, you only need an 8, and this time you only need a 6, and you're like, all right, just... You guys are obviously close. All you got to do is somebody's got to hit this number. Just keep going, keep going.
Yeah.
But that's easy to say when I don't have a stampede behind me, and monkeys with shotguns, and 2 foot tall spiders and all that jazz.
The monkeys thing there's some terrible CGI, but they were funny. It was terrible CGI, but they're funny.
I like it though. That's the one type of, if monkeys got to pull shenanigans, you're okay with that one.
Yeah, you really.
They kind of ran off and just had mischief elsewhere.
That's right.
They weren't, too much terrorizing the protagonists.
I like the Wizard of Oz reference. They're watching the flying monkeys jump up and down on people.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we should do that. We should jump up and down on people and stuff. But there is a bit of an arc for him because when he comes back, like I said, he's got a little more of a harder edge to him. He's not as tender to the child,
to the boy when the boy's crying,
right? And we see him at the beginning of the movie how his dad is not tender with him, so he has a realization. Like he's like,
he's that redemptive moment where he's like 28 years in the jungle and I still turned into my father.
Yeah, which is a really interesting line, And did you like them? Did you like the choice they made in the movie that when they solve the game, they go back to being kids with the knowledge?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like it that at the end, Kirsten Dunst and the other actor didn't have a, hey, we've been through something together because you weren't born technically if we're going to exist within, if that's going to be the rules.
Yeah.
Because then Jumanji didn't happen. He wasn't stuck there, and then the game finished in the proper amount of time that it took for the game to finish. And his dad comes home, and he's so just, I love you. I'm sorry. This was dumb. We shouldn't have been fighting.
Right.
And you don't have to go. And his life ended up being much fuller. You know what I love is the shoe that David Alan Grier has made.
Oh, yeah.
Is a Barkley. And
it says Parrish on it, like Robert Parrish.
On
I love that.
That was a Barkley that I kind of liked. There was another one that I really wanted as a kid.
Yeah.
And I thought about, because with all the retros you can go back and get, and I was like, man, you know what? I always wanted that Barkley. Let me see what that would run me back, or set me back. And now I see it, and it's just such a huge, clunky shoe.
Yeah.
Just like, wow, it was a different time.
I had the Reebok pump. Did you ever have
I had a pair of pumps.
Yeah,
One year.
Those fuckers they tore the sides of my feet apart, but they were
really?
worth it. They were worth it, man.
Dude, I love those.
Because I have wide feet, so the Reebok, they're a little more narrower than Nikes.
Okay.
And so when I would pump it, they would push on the sides of my feet, on the outside
and
sides.
And one in the airbags in the tongue, and it would inflate that and press down. So
exactly.
To give you a tighter, snug fit.
Yeah, but I envy like you and Hal, like you and Mark Fernandez as well. Like you guys have so much knowledge about sneakers and so much knowledge. Like to me, I walk into a store, I know what I like. But I don't like revere the sneakers the way you guys do, like the style and understand the design, those kinds of things like that. I think that's a thing that you have intrinsically within yourself.
I think it's more so just like, because a lot of styles that when we were kids were popular are still popular. It's really easy to pick up. Like, oh, okay, right now anything Adidas with Boost, and then a couple different versions of Boost is their big thing. And I yes, I did know about that before you started seeing NMDs everywhere.
Right,
like. It was one of those dumb things of, after it happened, Adidas actually, their stock went up because they took a huge chunk, comparatively speaking, to what they had before of the market. Now, Nike still controls 90% of the shoe market here, like sneakers, something ridiculous like that. Yeah. But Adidas managed to grab more of that 10% than it had before by a wide margin. Yeah. Like, Under Armour went down, and Reebok went down, and everything else, and they just grew to, hey, they're making a run at... It's like Pepsi to Coke, except they're nowhere near as big as Pepsi.
Right.
Kind of thing. Yeah. But at the same time, like, I don't buy every shoe that comes out because it's just like, after a while, you're never going to wear them enough to spend $200 on that pair of shoes. I'm only going to wear them. Like, I wear 2 different versions every day, and then, like, oh, tonight I'm wearing this. I'll wear these, or one of these 2 or 3. But I just can't go over it. Like, I would love to own 7 different Jordan 1s that I like, and there's a bunch of different 4s, 5s, and 6s, and some 2s and 3s that are not 2s, but 3s that I want.
Yeah,
2s are brutal to me. I don't like those things. But at the same time, it's just like I would never wear them, so it's just a waste of money.
What's what I mean? The way you talk about them, I don't know what a Jordan 1 would look like.
You
I don't
do.
know, or 2
It's
or
the
3.
most common as soon as you saw it.
Okay. I bought the initial ones that came out.
The first year, the band ones.
Okay.
That's the one that, from hipsters to somebody that is more into like R&B, that type of the clothing lifestyle.
Is that
culture.
the white, red, and black ones?
It's the standard high top style.
Okay.
That is a Jordan 1.
Yeah. Okay.
There's also an Air Force 1 that looks kind of similar to it in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
The Jordan has subtle differences, but you can get that in almost every color conceivable, like black and white, all black, white, red and black, all red, purple and this, blah, blah, blah. Like there's a new Gatorade inspired colorway that just came out.
Well, other than the Reebok pumps, all my basketball shoes were Jordans.
See, I only owned one pair of Jordans ever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, as a kid.
My last pair I bought 4 or 5 years ago, they're a black pair of Jordans.
Probably Jordan 1s.
Maybe. They're great. I love them. And I rarely play now because of whatever reason. But like,
do you actually play them? Okay.
Oh, yeah, I play them. Oh, yeah. I never bought anything just to put them on.
Old technology?
Well, whatever it was, I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not as knowledgeable as you. I liked the way they looked, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to buy those and play in those. And they play well. I like the way they play.
It's probably a newer pair.
They're mid-top. They're not full top, but they're mid-top. So, and then I wear ankle braces on both ankles for it. So it's like it works for me. But they're a boxy shoe, but I still like the way I play in them.
Okay.
But the first Jordans that I had were these black ones, black with some red trim around the middle and on the side, and then like a multicolor on the I don't know what you call this, but
midsole.
On the midsole, they have multicolor all around on the midsole.
Okay.
Almost like an African color type thing. And I loved those. Man, I fucking played those for 2 I wore the fuck out of those for 2 years.
Do you remember what year you bought them?
God, maybe early 90s, mid 90s.
Okay, that only narrows it down to, because Jordan he still has one every year, which is like, if you can give me a year, I can tell you which one it was.
Exactly.
And I might even be able to tell you specifically, like, oh, that was model this.
Right. Well, that's what I tell you. That's why I envy your knowledge. It's like people into cars. Like, I envy their knowledge. It's just not something that grabs my interest, you know? If it was a schmodown for shoes, I would never be a champion.
Yeah, I like the aesthetic of it. And there's certainly, I got dream pairs that, like, if I ever made enough money, this is one I would splurge on.
Right.
There's some Toros and some 3Ms that they put out that are just, it's a high top 6, and it's all red, like this suede nubuck. And it is so gaudy. It is amazing.
Wow.
I fucking love it. It's one of those that my wife would hate it to pieces and just like, you have no idea. I got another pair that she hates.
Yeah.
And she's seen me get compliments on them. And she hates it. Because at first she didn't believe me. Like, the basketball shirts that I wear them on the Schmodown. Like those caricature ones from the 80s. I love those.
Those are great.
I own 25 of those.
Those are fucking great.
I got some really great obscure ones. Mm-hmm. She hates every one.
What?
Every single one.
Wow.
And she didn't believe me for the longest time that I get compliments on them. And then, because I don't wear them around her because I know she hates them. And every once and again I will. And I've been stopped before and been like, dude, I haven't seen that shirt since. Be like, yep, it's pretty sweet, isn't it? And she's just sitting there like, oh, she hates it.
Yeah, man, I love those shirts. Because I remember all through the 80s and 90s they had those shirts.
I love every one of them.
Yeah.
I got a Lakers championship, and I saw a dude that I see all the time. He's like, I thought you were a Bulls fan. I was like, I just love these shirts. And he's like, Lakers are my team. I knew that. And he's like, that's the shirt I coveted as a kid.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, I found it on Etsy for $15.
Yep. Yeah.
Just got to keep your eye out. You can find it eventually.
They tried to do them for the football, for the NFL, but it wasn't quite. No, it wasn't quite as cool as the NBA stuff. Because football is about the logo and your team.
The team, yeah.
This
the
was
individual.
And in basketball, it's very much about the star.
There's a couple, but for the most part, no. And baseball, not as well. There's only one that I want at baseball, which is Bo Jackson. I've only gotten it once, but it was just a little too much.
Yeah. Anyway, the movie.
Yeah, back to the movie.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to what we do on the top 10, which is just meander sometimes. Right. Well, this is our interest, and on a regular show, we don't typically veer off as much because we talk so much about the movies anyway.
Yeah.
We still do, but it seems like on Thunderdome we're more apt to.
Well, I don't know how much there is to talk about the movie, right? I mean, like it's a fun little game, and in the end, they survive. He learns the lesson. He hugs his dad. He breaks his dad down a little bit, and his dad kind of initially we think he's this kind of like very well kept person who's like doesn't want to give emotion or feeling out. And then when Alan comes up to him and hugs him and he says, "I'm only gone for 5 minutes," and he's like, "Well, it feels longer for me."
It felt like it felt like a lifetime.
Yeah, it felt like
something like that.
And he breaks him down a little bit, and then the dad says, "I'm sorry what I said. I was angry."
Yeah, and you don't have to go to that academy.
Yeah.
It was just
great moment. And then he admits about the shoe.
Yeah.
So he changes Bentley's life as well by admitting about the shoe.
Exactly, but it also like. What his dad said before of like, well, you don't have to go to that academy or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that little olive branch of his dad realizing like, I don't need to make him a man. He's becoming a man right here just fine.
Right.
Like I'm doing a fine enough job. I don't have to ship it. He should live here with me and grow up with me, and I should be an influence on him.
I guess, is he adopted? Is that, or I mean, like, is
I don't
like,
think so.
Because you say you got to be a parish, or whatever.
Well, because parishes went to that school that's a rite of passage in this family.
Okay.
Kind of like it's an East Coast thing. Send my kid to a boarding school,
Right.
Which I didn't know growing up, but now gotten older, like I have met kids that went to boarding schools.
Yeah.
It seems like it's rarer and rarer, but I have, I have met some.
When he says we'll talk man to man tomorrow, and he's like, "How about father to son?" Boom.
Yeah.
Which was a sweet moment.
So you're saying you would like it to revert to where they didn't know either, that they played the game?
Who didn't know? That they didn't know?
The Robin Williams and Bonnie Hunt.
Yeah. It's interesting to see them come back at the same age, and they get to live their life all over again, and it's a happier life. And imagine the town doesn't become this like wasteoid town and whatever. It actually flourishes and thrives, and it obviously does because he's running the parachutes business now.
Mm-hmm.
His dad, he's on the phone with his dad, so his dad isn't dead. His mom isn't dead, I imagine, because they're picking him up from the airport.
Yeah, if you're going to imply one, why would you not imply the other?
Exactly. And so you've got
There's no need for him to go and be like, I just wish your mom would be here with us tomorrow, and be like, whoa, that turned dark for no reason.
Yeah, and they're having a child, and so that's positive. So I imagine, but do you think because they come back like that, were they destined to stay together? And so that's what helped the relationship. Like, we wouldn't have survived this Jumanji if we weren't supposed to be together. So we'll just end up getting married. Even though we're 12 years old, we'll get married eventually because we know our future.
But they've already had a life of longing for one another. At least she has, definitely.
Right.
She's trying to, like, affectionately just, like, kiss him on the lips.
Yeah.
It's nothing more devious than that. She obviously had a crush on him from that age, and it maintained, even though...
he did, too.
Yeah. But he was slow to come... Oh, he was afraid of it. Because he was still childlike.
She was someone else's girlfriend.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Right? The other kid and all of that. And he was getting beat up because the kid says to him, like, do you think you can hang around... Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you can hang around my girlfriend or whatever. And he's like, well, we're just friends. I don't care.
Yeah.
His ass kicked.
Young, tough punks.
Yeah. I hate those fuckers.
The worst.
Yeah, but then I like that the dad is the hunter because the hunter's trying to man him up in a way as well.
Yeah.
Right? In a more negative way, and he says that to him. Be a man, right? Right before he gets sucked back into the game of Jumanji, he confronts him about being a man also.
I love, though, that even in this northeastern town, you go to the gun store, they're still hillbillies. They're still hicks.
That's true.
Oh, no, you don't have to fill out that form, sir. He slaps down just gold doubloons.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, okay. Well, what is that?
I just love the guy knows what gold doubloons are in a wasteoid town. Yeah, it's incredible.
Or are those, what was that, apartheid gold coins? What were they? Not drachmas.
Not drachmas.
Oh, God, what were those called? Krugerrands.
Krugerrands, yes.
Krugerrands, like they're Krugerrands or something?
Yeah.
Like that would be the only thing potentially he would know?
Yeah. That's a Lethal Weapon 2 thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I knew what Krugerrands were before that.
Oh,
it was,
were you? Oh.
Yeah, it was just like some weird currency that only they had.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things of just a random trivia bit that's stored in my head. I got a million of those fucking things.
We'll need that.
Well, if it comes up, I wish in the Schmodown we just had a general trivia category. I'd fucking crush.
Yes.
Bring it on. I will crush anybody in just general trivia in this league.
Let's make it happen. So, I don't know what else to say. Like, it was nice to see it for the first time. It is a bit dated, but it had sweet moments. That's basically my general feeling about it.
Yeah,
I thought Robin Williams was great.
Yeah, it's a fun adventure film that was like that generation's kind of Goonies-ish.
Yeah.
That I know you don't like, but I just watched the Goonies 2 weeks ago.
I don't know why.
I love it. I love that movie backwards, forwards. I know.
Holy shit.
I know the points. I know the story that points that they cut out, and actually where you can see elements where it carries over, and be like, oh, yeah, right there, that tiny little frame right there. That's where actually it led into this that they cut out entirely. And like stupid shit, I love that movie.
Okay.
But that was of my generation.
Yeah.
It resonates with me because I was maybe a year or two younger than them.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Somewhere someone is going, how can I put Goonies up against Clue and really fuck Rocha? Somebody is really, I guarantee you somebody's thinking about that right now.
Well, guess what? We got 2 more Thunders next month. And both of those are Thunders to me, my friend. Both of those are Thunders.
No!
I already know what my vote is. It's not even close.
Son of a bitch, man.
Was there a Clue 2? Maybe we should do Clue versus Clue 2.
I don't think there was a Clue. Oh, maybe there was a Clue 2.
There easily could have been a Clue 2.
God.
Like a straight to VHS.
Yeah. I would be interested to see, since you saw Jumanji so many times, it'd be interesting to see what you thought of if you go see the sequel, which I highly recommend. Dude, it's a fun time. It's legitimately a
because
fun
when
time.
it's coming out, I'm traveling on those dates, and then I'm skiing next week for a couple days, and then hanging out with family in the other days.
Yeah.
We were going to go ice fishing, which we are no longer going to do, thank God. Thank God. I'm down to do it, but I'm only there so many days and standing on the ice, freezing my nuts off. I love to fish, but ice fishing has never been. If you're not drinking, I do not see the point of this.
Yeah.
Like in Grumpy Old Men, like, that's what. Like, that's part of fishing to me, like bass fishing I used to do all the time. Just like, grab a 6-pack, go out with my friends, and go fishing for the afternoon.
And just chill out.
But I could do that sober, whereas ice fishing, like, the booze helps numb the cold, too. Like, it's double-edged type of thing. Like, it makes it more fun and, helps with some of the adverse conditions.
Agreed.
But, yes, I don't know. It'll probably be once it goes out onto streaming services or DVD or something like that. I don't think I'll see it before then.
Oh, okay.
I doubt it, but maybe.
I recommend it highly. It's actually a really good time, and it's great performances by The Rock and Karen Gillan and Jack Black and Kevin Hart. Just really great time. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it, especially because I hadn't seen Jumanji before, and I still got into the film and the world of the film effortlessly. So, yeah. Anything else to say? Joe Johnston directed this one.
Yeah. Who had a surprisingly strong career.
Yeah.
Like, I went and looked at his IMDb, and it's a bunch of different genres.
Yeah.
And he's done a lot of great work in those genres. It's pretty impressive. It's one of those of, like, even doing the first Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
It's like out of nowhere, he hadn't done in, like, a movie in 7 years.
Yeah.
Well, my couple problems with the film, which we've talked about in the past, have nothing to do with him. That was a story element decision and stuff like that, and it's shot and directed, wonderfully. But just see that, like, all these years later, still able to come. I haven't directed a film in a few years, and then put out really high quality work like that. That's truly impressive.
Yeah, which means he's probably hunting around for his next project.
Yeah,
and probably had things in turnaround or getting paid for, doctoring scripts or script doctoring or whatever they call it. I'm sure he was making his money in numerous ways.
Or projects that just never got off the ground because
he was getting paid for them.
Yeah, exactly. Every time like another production company wants to do it and they attach him to it and whatnot, and it goes somewhere, but maybe it doesn't go all the way to the finish line, unfortunately. That happens, a lot.
Yep.
Shit, there's, 100 times that number that don't even make it to that stage.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that 100 might be low.
Right.
But yeah, so it's a really good movie. Hopefully Birdcage comes back up in another Thunderdome, although I can't imagine when it would anytime soon.
Right.
But if you haven't seen Birdcage too, it's a really funny movie.
Absolutely.
And Jumanji just has such a great spark of a great, fun childhood type of adventure. Not to say it is childish, just like the awe it inspires within, like if you were this kid's age and having to go through this ordeal and play this game, and it's fun because you could put yourself in it.
It's an expansive film because them playing the game, which they discover, and we see at the beginning, it's like being buried in 1869, which means that this game, who knows how old this game is and how many lives or towns or even countries it might have messed up because of its power. Who even created this game? We still have yet to see that.
Gypsies.
Yeah, the gypsies.
There's a crystal ball that, lighted words emit from smoke through the gypsies. That's the only answer to that question.
Fair.
It's from somewhere in Eastern Europe. No idea where.
These gypsies come in and create it.
Yeah, exactly. It's the soul of Vlad the Impaler from Transylvania, and they put it into a game, and now his spirit lives on within this little half crystal ball.
Elizabeth. But yeah, so there we go. All right, well, thanks everybody for listening to the Thunderdome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you to Keaton Reese.
Yes.
For being a Patreon member and for responding back.
Yeah.
Appreciate that very much. And picking a great topic.
Yes.
They open up there. And then Brian Safari and Joey Anthony for choosing 2 movies that we've never talked about.
Yep.
Thank you so much for that, because it makes it for, a discussion you've never heard us have.
Mm-hmm.
So that was awesome. So the next Thunderdome, or Blunder, whichever the case is, this was great. Put up 2 movies, even if they pick Spielberg, pick 2 Spielberg movies you've never heard us talk about, or something like that.
That's
just
fun,
so,
yeah.
just so we can get some new discussions in there, and hopefully actually get people to see movies they may not have seen, or have been wanting to get around to, and it's just kind of always been on the back burner.
Yeah.
So
also, yeah.
Thank you to the 3 of you, and for supporting us on Patreon, being part of the Thunderdome level. Next month, you boss hoggers will be part of it.
Hey-o.
Let's see. Today is Christmas Eve.
Okay.
So Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
To those listening to this the day before, or if you listen to this on Christmas.
Yeah.
Hopefully we didn't curse too much.
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
Yeah.
And to those that didn't celebrate Christmas, whatever you celebrate, happy holidays to you.
Absolutely. No judgment here.
Yeah, stay safe, have fun out there, have a good holiday season, and
lift a glass of eggnog to us, and we'll lift a glass of eggnog to you.
You ever had boiled custard?
What?
It's the same thing.
Is it?
But it's from the South, so I figured you being from Virginia, you might have had boiled custard.
No, we weren't big eggnog people because, we're Latino, so it's not necessarily something that crept into something we had. We
it's
had
like
different
liquid
things.
flan on some level, or flan on some level.
I guess so.
It's not the same
If
thing,
you want to
but
reduce
it's kind
my
of
culture to that, sure. Jesus.
Look, you're reducing white culture to loving eggnog at Christmas.
I don't think it's reducing it.
I saw the look on your face. It was very dismissive.
Look, I go to Starbucks. That's when I know the white culture. Whatever flavors they have, that's white culture flavors.
Yeah. Well, you got any inbred drinks that are Christmas themed?
Not a white guy from the South.
What do you got? What do you got?
No, but Josh McCouga made some homemade eggnog that I think is similar to what you're talking about. It tasted like warm custard. Is that what you said?
It's boiled custard.
Boiled custard. It tastes. He prepares it over 9 hours. The eggnog. It's insane.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was spiked. So I was like, oh, this is. I had 2.
See, I've never actually had, because that's what eggnog truly is.
Yes.
It has rum in it.
Yeah.
I've never had.
I had 2 cups of it while we were all doing stuff, and I wasn't the only one, and it was very powerful. That's what I'll say. It was very powerful. I had to drink a lot of water afterwards.
Knowing McCouga, I am not surprised by that in the slightest.
That guy can put it down.
Considering on our Christmas show from 2 years ago.
Oh yeah,
when he was on, he said he spends, I think it's Christmas Eve or something like that, in a bar. Because his brother owns a bar or something.
Yep.
So the whole family goes down there and they just hang out in a bar all night.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not surprised that guy makes a mean eggnog.
Right, exactly. We didn't have him on the show. We haven't had him on the show since that show with Ben Bagley, where we did the top 10.
I do not think we have.
Yeah, it was like Christmas.
So we'll figure something out.
We should have them more of the shows.
Yeah, I know. We've enjoyed having guests on. And the nice thing is those listening have responded insanely well.
Right.
And I love seeing it on across Twitter and Facebook and stuff. And when they tag them, be like, you were awesome on the show.
Yeah, that's always good.
It is, just because I know they enjoyed the experience. I can't think of a single guest we ever had where we walked away and they were frustrated or something like that.
No, they're always like, oh, when can I come back?
Yeah.
Yep.
We always immediate. There have been some that as soon as we end, hey, just let me know when you want me back.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay.
Slow down it.
We had fun too, but we only do one guest or 2 guests. We're averaging 2 month-ish,
Yeah.
something like that, 1.5 a month or something.
Sounds good. Have a guest.
Yeah, whatever. Well, I'm saying over the course of 3 months, we'll have 5 guests.
The stats.
Yeah, something like that.
But keep contributing, and thanks so much for, like Matt was saying, at www.patreon.com/the top 10, the number 10 there. 1, 5, 10? 1, 5, 20. What do we have? What's the tiers? $1, $5.
1, 5, 10, 20, 50.
Yeah, 1, 5, 10, 20, 50. So there's a lot of perks to wherever you're.
And if you can't,
donate,
and you're
if you
listening
can't,
to
it's not a big deal.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, just let us know somewhere. That's my sparkling water.
Yes.
Just let us know somewhere. Hey, listen to the show.
Yeah,
that's it.
exactly.
If you can't donate or don't want to or whatever the case is, I've been broke in my life for long periods.
Yeah.
So I fully understand.
Exactly.
Everything you're going through, you should spend that dollar on what you actually need that dollar to go to.
Absolutely.
Not on us.
Yeah. And, telling people is just as valuable. Promoting the show on your social media is just as valuable. So, bring us new listeners, always valuable. So, all right. Well, that's our Thunderdome.
Thunderdome.
And we will see you next time on the Top 10 show.